Hey, 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 what's going on? What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Next Level, man. I'm back again with another live stream. We're gonna try this again. Autumn, I can see you. Yes, I can see you. Yes, I can see you. Can you hear me okay? Are we loud and clear? Um, I think it's important for me to do this live stream right now. Um, I got a lot of things to say, but I'm gonna just condense it into, you know, I ain't gonna hold y'all, keep y'all for hours or nothing. But if you are just tuning into the live stream, um, I titled this live stream "My Truth" because it's my truth. Okay, these are my experiences that has led me to where I'm at now. I want to say hello, thank everybody for joining me. See, I got three people. How's everybody doing? Um, Whoever hit that like button, thank you, man. I love you. So, as you guys know, I have been, doing well. I've been going through a lot of things this year. Has been quite interesting, should I say? Um, and I feel that this live stream is important because I'm getting ready to upload a lot of videos and just mysteriously, when I went into my SD card to take a look at the footage. A lot of um, the dates and things were switched around, and I went and erased some stuff, and I erased some stuff that I shouldn't have erased. That I just wanted to just put out there so you guys could see the video footage for yourself. Um, but some things got erased, so I'm just gonna explain some things that I went through. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask me, here I'll type in my number here. Um, Type in my number if you guys have any questions or if you guys want to call up and join the live stream. You guys can do so. Okay. Um, it's been interesting. Everything started back in New York. When I had my place. And before I get into it, I want to let everybody know, like this is my truth. Okay, this is my truth. Okay, this is my story. Like this is what I've been going through. Um, I'm not, saying this, telling my story to get any sympathy from anybody or anything like that. Um, and just maybe people are going through different things. People are going through similar things. Maybe they can learn from my experience, just like I learned from you guys' experiences when you guys come on with live streams or you put videos out and everything. Big shout out to Autumn, Critical Break, Big Dreams. Man, it's great to see you guys too, man. God is amazing. You know, gotta forgive me, guys. I'm looking real scrubby today, but it's been a long journey. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm about to get into it right now. So, things all started for me in New York. If you guys have been on the channel or, a lot of people are new, um, I started, you know, posting my videos and just talking about my experience that, ciphered into me, making music. Corbin Dallas, what up, Corbin? How you feeling, man? Um, yeah, that started into me making videos and making music again. Um, I don't know if any one of you guys tuning in, how many people who are on the stream now? We only got a few people, but have you guys ever seen any of my music videos on the channel? If you have, just type it in, let me know, or you can call me up and patch you right in on the stream. But I started writing songs about my experience. I don't want to just basically say, oh, it's just about targeting and everything, even though I am heavily targeted, and so I started making music again, posting that ciphered into me doing live streams. I started my live stream shows, like not like that, not like this type of live stream, but um, we had events where it was cool, man. It was called What's Next. It's still on the channel, and I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this thing going again. I'm out here, bro. BZ, what up, bro? Yeah, we out here, bro. So man, I love you, bro. I love all y'all, man. And so the live stream turned into the podcast, and I got all these ideas, man. I got a bunch of great ideas. Thank you for the two people who hit that like button, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank y'all, man. But I got a bunch of great ideas, and I was in a great space. Well, I wouldn't say great, but it was a space. I was in it. At my place, me and another family member of mine's, and things went south. I ended up losing my place, and things just went spiraling. Like, I mean, like one thing after another, like taking loss after loss after loss. Where I'm from, and I felt like that was maybe the Most High. Maybe that was God telling me, maybe the closing all the doors around me. Maybe telling me, because I always wanted to get out and meet people, meet TIs, and get around and actually show people, because I know that this program is so fear based. They want to close us in. They want us to be inside, scared, and they, just scared, straight up. Like that's the thing. Like they want people to be afraid. And I went through that. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm Superman. Like I went through a period of time where this thing had me just, man, just afraid. Um, Afraid in the house, afraid outside, afraid. You know what I mean? Like, and man, I love you too. Hold it down, bro. You got this. Losses only make room for a major come up, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. And like I said, everybody tuning in. If you see that number on the, if you want to call in, chime in, cool. Well, let me just tell my truth right now. So, one thing after another, I ended up losing my place. And was, out trying to find my way. Um, Took some losses, got stabbed in the back by family members, stabbed me right in the back over some money, um, over a few things, and it was just like loss after loss after loss. And if you guys have been on the channel following my journey, man, I don't, I'm not afraid to actually talk about this stuff or to actually show it. And so, when the doors were closed all around me, I was doing a lot of prayer, and I was just like, man, at this point, I was still in New York, and I just felt like it was, the Most High telling me, like, okay, now is your time, to leave New York and to go set out to do, to go meet other TIs and to, to make things happen. And a lot of people, well, I can't say a lot of people, but some people who were in my circle when Next Time was going on, we were doing Next Time, which was the podcast, like almost every other day. And I'm just putting out music. And those people were, um, next, yeah, I'll talk to them every day. And they're like, yeah, yeah, because I created a space, a safe space. Big shout out to Awakened State of Mind, targeting Australia, man. I see you, bro. What up? Salute. Um, those people were every day, oh, next, such and such, what's going on? What's going on? And when I took that loss and I lost my place, and it wasn't due to anything I did. Um, it had some outside, outside forces at work. Um, I just saw that people switched up on me. People changed on me. The same people who I considered friends, the same people who I considered, well, I can't say friends. Well, yeah, I can say friends, even though I never met those people. We would talk on Skype, we would talk on Google Hangouts, we would talk every day. Some of these people were my moderators. Um, big shout out to New Zealand, Autumn, big shout out. Big shout out to Australia, everybody tuning in. And before I get going, I want to say that, you guys know what's up with my stream. You guys know what's up with sometimes like I was somewhere and they were attacking me, like they were attacking I was heavily targeted, and they were bumping people off, and they were ending my stream. I had to keep trying to do it. Like, I don't even know how many times I did it, like 6 or 7 times. And so I say that to say this, if that happens, um if you are watching and you get bumped off, just click back on. And I apologize about that, but sometimes um it happens to in this realm, in this algorithm, in this um community, right? So um I decided to, well, actually I did a lot of prayer, and I did a lot of I did some fasting, I did some prayer, some more fasting and more prayer. And God made a way. God opened the door for me to, you know, begin my journey. There were people who looked out for me, man, and I really appreciate you guys. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you for everything. Whether you just said a prayer for me, whether you sent something to my PayPal, or my friend Migs B, she just, took it upon herself and she started a GoFundMe account, and, some people donated, and I really appreciate everybody's prayer, everything everybody did, man, in my time of need. I appreciated that. And, so I took a trip, well, actually, I didn't take a trip, but, someone sent for me to go um, to St. Louis. So let's see here. Critical break, she says. Yes. Thank you, sir. Your mission is tough one. You are adored more than you can know, man. Thank you so much, Critical Break. I love you too, man. I really do. But man, I mean, like, this is one of the only times where I'm feeling it, because when I'm out and about moving around and this stuff has been, man, um, I'm gonna tell my truth. I'm gonna tell my truth without, throwing anybody under the bus. My mission is not to expose anybody or to make anybody look crazy or to call people perps or whatever the case may be. My opinion is mine, and this isn't a video about my opinion. This is my truth. Okay, so um, she says, I can feel what you're feeling. And that's love, straight love. A lot of feelings I'm feeling right now. Critical. So I took out. Someone sent for me to go to St. Louis, and God was working through this person, and I received a major blessing out there. I was able to get some sleep for once because I was very sleep deprived. Um, I had nothing. Basically, I had nothing. I had nothing in my pocket. Um, and I went out to St. Louis, and basically um, received a blessing from God. That's what I'm going to say. I stayed out there for a couple days, and man, I just pretty much, I don't know, just kind of stayed to myself, in where I was staying. And then a couple days went by, and then I called up some people that I knew Well, no, I didn't call them like, I'm in communication with a lot of TIs. I like to talk to TIs, like I don't want to be one of those people that's like, you know, um, where I just post my videos and then it's just like I just post my videos and, you know, um, that's it. I just post my just like and subscribe. Thank you for people for liking that. I try to be not even try. Like I'm a person that you can talk to. I'm a person that you can reach out to. You can call me up, and I have developed certain relationships. I want to say with different TIs from all over the world, and big shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Thank you for joining me right now. Love it. Whether you are a hater or whether you got love for me, thank you for joining in. But um, I called up some people who reside in Ohio, because I had someone send for me before I went to St. Louis to Ohio, and people were like, yeah, let's get up. Let's go to Detroit and meet up with some other TIs and let's go, I always wanted to meet you next and let's do this and that. So I'm like, cool, man, let's do it. Um, as you guys, if you guys been on my channel and watching these videos, you'll see, certain clips where, I'm traveling over here and I'm over there. You know what I mean? So it can come off like, just looking at it like, man, this guy is, you know what I mean? He's got money. He's, just doing this. He's just traveling around. He's going all over the world. But the truth of the matter is, my truth is that for every step that I took, every step that I made, God has made that possible. Okay. In real life, I've been taking so many losses and people have been switching up on me, and I went through so many crazy things, and not even um, aware, of what the situations were. I've been led into traps. I've been led into, some things that I'm gonna talk about briefly here, and then, I'm gonna start uploading some more videos here, and um, but I just want people to know. You seen I went to Detroit. I met up with Louis Rowe. Big shout out to Cheryl. What is that? Nick Geo? I don't know. I don't know how. You give me strength. I am empath with abilities. Live always. How do you know the time? King Stalker. I am awake. It cannot fathom. I don't know, Cheryl. Cheryl, if you want, man, you can call me up, man, because I really don't understand that comment. I don't know, man. I really don't, man. But thank you for the comment too. But yeah. So I met Louis Rowe. I met a couple other TIs in Detroit. Thank God. I just thank God for the experience, man. It was quite. It was a blessing, because me and Louis, we have worked on a few videos. We did a podcast. He is starting to August 29th, the Targeted Individual Day. That was his idea. That was something he came up with. And, and there's something, with that too, it seems like the closer we get to the August 29th, uh, more things have been revved up. People's targeting is going crazy. I know mine has been, man, I have been going through some things. I'll tell you what, man. And you guys are going to see it, you guys are going to see it. That's what this video is about. Just getting you guys ready for, the next few videos that I'm going to be uploading here pretty soon, and letting you guys know. Care, what up? How you doing, man? Thank you for joining, man. Thank you. So I went to Detroit. I met Louis. I'm going to tell you guys, man, it wasn't the most comfortable um, situation. Like, it wasn't the most comfortable meeting. There was all kinds of things that was going on. Um, we were downtown Detroit somewhere. There was all kind of people moving around, but there was also some people acting really weird and really funny towards me. Let's see, Kara says, death was fake on me. UK, I track it by card. Mom funeral? Man, I don't know what you're saying right there, Kara, but man, I hope everything is all right, man, and I pray that everything is okay with you and everybody tuning in, man. I pray that everything is okay with you guys, man. All right. Text correct. Sorry, I am can have abilities. I think it is hard to come to terms with this. I am awake. I see the amping, weird things going on. Yeah, Cheryl, man, I mean, like, I don't know if I picked the right, I think I did pick the right name for this, for my YouTube channel, because I have been seeing things on the next level, and I'm going to tell you guys about it right now. I wanted it to be a live stream, just in case anybody has any questions, um, or if anybody cares to share or want to talk about their experience. Number here again, just in case. And I'm gonna leave this video up. By the grace of God, it's streaming, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that it's streaming. And so I went out there to meet Lewis, and a lot of things went left. Okay. Um, when I left Detroit, I left Detroit heartbroken, just due to some certain circumstances of, with somebody who I cared for dearly and prayed for and felt very close to. Something happened, something really crazy, that I would have never imagined things would go down that way. So, I went back to Ohio and um, from Detroit, and, it just was, man, it was crazy. Um, Big shout out to you, Cheryl. She says, thank you. Karen says, yeah, my mom death was set up to fake it. All Mormon family members on it, the black car used in my mom's hearse was using one headlight. Wow, man. Cheryl says, how did you learn to trust again? Well, I feel like this, Cheryl. I feel like trust is earned. You know what I mean? So it's not nothing where, um, you just meet somebody and you trust them. And big shout out to you, Yusuf. I see you, bro. It's crazy out here, man. Trying to get a grip, man. I'm with you on that, bro. It's so crazy, you know. As you guys are, you gotta hear. So I left Detroit heartbroken, traumatized. There was a bunch of crazy stuff happening. I'm not gonna get into specifics, but I'm just gonna leave it there. So there was somebody in Ohio who I knew, and man, Cheryl, fake people everywhere. Man, you are so right, man. I'm gonna get into that too. And so it was somebody in Ohio who reached out to me and was like, Next, I saw your videos. You shouldn't be out there on the street like that. Why don't you come here and we can do this together and I help you and such and this and that and blah blah blah, right? So, I get to, I go to that place in Ohio to get with this person. And when I got there, the energy of this person just changed, from the oh, Next, you should come and we can do this together, to, barely answering the phone, barely answering my text message, like acting weird, acting standoffish, like, leaving me out. And just I'm just out and about, just roaming around. And mind you, in Ohio, they revved up each day I was in Ohio, like they revved up my targeting. I started seeing it. I was being zapped by DEWs. There were people moving around, you know, and I had footage of this stuff. There were people moving around and hand signals and, you know, and, you know, I'm reaching out to this person and I'm trying to, you know, oh, big shout out to Jan, man. Hey, Jan. Let's see here. Yeah, Chrissy told me what happened to you in Ohio. So I know who we're talking. Sorry, dude. What shock to have someone you. Yes, yes. And then, you know what, Jan? It was consistent. It was consistent, consistent, consistent. Let me take this call real quick. Yo, Kev. Yo, I'm
Man, I just got phone with dad. I got to get out there, man. He's like, you've been sitting there for 10 years now. You ain't reached it yet.
Bro.
I said, I'm coming. Huh?
Bro, I'm actually doing a live stream right now on YouTube, bro. I'm not. Yeah, I'm live right now. Say shout out to all the TIs, man. Say what's up to all the TIs.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What up, TIs? What's going down?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, man. So as you guys can see, that's my boy Kev, man. He's a TI, man. He's going through some things. Everybody's saying, what up, what up? Hey, yo, if you go on YouTube right now, Kev, you can see it. You know what I mean? He's going through.
I gotta get on my phone and get on it.
Okay, all right. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I'm gonna get on it right now. Then.
Okay.
So it's working now. Everything good?
Yeah, it's working. Right now it is. I got out of that.
Hey, I'm gonna go to that firehouse. You wanna go with me?
Yes, sir. We can make it happen, bro. We can make it happen, man.
I'm gonna come through right now.
All right, bro. Let me know.
I'll be there. I'll see you in 5 minutes.
All right. All right, jump on the live stream. All right, as you guys can see, you know, my number is here. I'm gonna put it up again. If you guys, my boy Kev, he's a TI, 0638. All right, so if you guys want to chime in or call up and just say what up or anything, cool. So Ohio, right? So I'm in Ohio and I'm like devastated now. I'm just like, because every day, you know, every day, I'm talking about every day, something was happening. Something was happening, you know, like I tried to get, you know, I applied to work at this temp job that I was on, you know, that this person took me to a temp agency, and I signed up with them. And the first day, they sent me to a job, and I thought it was weird, man, because before I even got done filling out the papers, they're like, "Oh yeah, I got a job for you," and they sent me to this place, and you know, they drove me there in the van, and I was the only person who worked at this place. They had a van full of people, and it was just like, I don't know, it was a creepy feeling, man, and man, man, I went into this place, man, and they sent me. Nobody said nothing to me right away, and then they sent me in the back. And it was like these big wooden machines and these big machines. The machines wasn't wooden, but it was a big machine. It was cutting these big hundred. We were throwing 100-pound um, ply boards on this machine, and then the guy didn't really train me. He was just like running from around the factory, running over here, and like, okay, this is how you do this, boop 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 boop, okay, and then ran away, and then I'm just like, what, like how do, like what, you know what I mean? I felt like I was being set up for failure, man, and you know, so he was showing me how to do it, and then the machine was like malfunctioning, and it was like catching on fire, and then a big old chunk of wood, like almost like the size of my Bible here. You know what I mean? A big chunk of wood just flew out of the machine and just bop me right on my leg. And I'm like, oh my God, it felt like I got shot. Like it felt like I was hit. I got shot. Like I felt like my leg was bleeding. He was like, "Oh my God!" He was like, "Yo, I've never seen that happen before." And I'm like sitting there in pain, like, "Oh God!" I'm like, "Yo," and he's like, Do you need medical help?" I'm like, "I don't know." I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and you know, I could see where I got hit at that point. You know, it felt like I got shot, but you know, so I limped back. I had me limping. Like it was hurting so bad, I was limping. So I went back into the you know, warehouse part where we were working, and the guy was doing the same thing, wasn't really showing me how to really do it. And next thing you know, he was telling me like, well, we're just gonna shut down for today because what did he say? He said we're just gonna shut down for today because we're running low on wood, and the whole factory is going to shut down. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I seen everybody start walking out of the place, and I'm like thinking, all right, well, wow, I only been there for about 2.5 hours. Like, all right. So next thing you know, I see everybody walking back in and just going back to their workstation and working. And I'm like, well, man, like, Jesus, man. I'm like, sitting there looking, and I'm like, yeah, that is odd, right? That's odd. And I'm like, and so I walked up to somebody and I'm like, yo, are we shutting down early today? And he's like, no, no, they're just doing what they're doing and such and such. And so I walked back to my station, and the guy comes over like, oh yeah, we're gonna shut things down. We're gonna um and I looked at him and I'm just like, man, why is this dude like so just clean up around your area. There's a bunch of I'm like covered in wood chips and wood dust all over, and I'm just like, and I sprayed it, trying to clean up as best as I could. And then next thing you know, I'm gonna condense this story, man, because there's so much. Next thing you know, the guy came over to my station with somebody else and was like, well, yeah, I want you to finish this job order. We got so much going on here. And I'm like, yo, I thought we were shutting down. Like, we didn't have, he was like, no, you come with me. You come with me. So he walked me out, and he was like, yo, do you have, did you punch in today? I'm like, yeah, I punched in. And he was like, where's your card? And then he took my card, and then he wrote DNR on it. DNR, and if that happens, that means do not return, DNR. And I'm like, DNR, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what's going on? I was like, yeah, well, we don't need you in this department. Yeah, that's like, he was just like, you know what I mean? He was BSing me. That's what he was doing, straight BS. Walked me out the door. It was raining. I didn't know where I was or what was going on. He just like, all right, you up? Well, the bus stop is that way. Bus stop. So I'm standing outside in the rain, and just straight discombobulated. My leg is sore from that big chunk of wood flying out the machine. And I'm just like, wow, I'm feeling like I got set up. And it was like the first day that I signed up um, for this temp agency. Now I'm feeling like, man, this I got DNR'd on my first job. Like, how's that gonna look? This is before I figured out that the temp agency was in on the targeting and everything, before I figured out what was going on. So I'm just like, man, I'm going, I'm down. I'm just like, oh my God, my leg was pulsating. I went to this church out there. They were having like a job fair. They were like feeding homeless people in there. I went in there, sat in there, talked to the it was like a Lutheran church, and I really didn't understand the Lutheran or whatever. So I went in there, talked to the pastor, and I think it was his daughter or whatever. We were talking about a few things, and so make a long story short, um, this person that told me, "Oh, next you should come down. We can do this together." Yada yada. This person was avoiding me. This person stopped answering my phone calls, like not texting me back, like just acting brand new, not acting the same way as I know this person to that well as I can't say I know this person, but as I knew from this person to be, just you know, and to make a long story short, it wasn't cool for me to stay with them. And then, I ended up going to this place, homeless shelter or whatever, homeless shelter, not afraid to say it. And I went to this place in Ohio. This place was heavily targeted. Okay, the people inside the homeless shelter were there were people posing as homeless people in there, but they really wasn't. Like they were in on this targeting shit, man. And it was supposed to be like Christian, and like these people. Big shout out to Self Contented. I see you. Shalom. Um, I was in this shelter, man, and um, I, was it was supposed to be Christian based, like, and the people who work there, they're supposed to be pastors, and they're all about, reading the scriptures and, But this place, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, this is my truth. Okay, this place was crawling with stalkers, and the people who worked there were in on the targeting and everything. Like I was getting zapped at this place, guys. I was only there for a few days, but those days were and every day I was in Ohio, it got crazy. Like as far as my stalking is concerned, like um, I ended up going back to the temp service, trying to get another job. The person that I went down there for was just like straight avoiding me and like blowing me off and acting brand new. So like, I got frustrated. I got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother with you no more. Like it is what it is. I didn't realize a few things at this point. I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna, stay in this shelter and figure out what I need to do from there, right? Um, but as I said, after I made that decision, right, and that's when they really revved up my targeting. Like, I mean, like when I was sleeping there, like they had these dorms, like a bunch of, like I'm talking about, it had to be at least 50 or 60 people in there. I'm not even gonna say homeless people because um, they had fake homeless people in there. There was some people was homeless, but they were all in. They all was in on my targeting. Like I was the rabbit. I don't know if you guys know about the rabbit, but I'll talk to you guys about. I'll make a video about that later. But I was the TI in that situation. I didn't see them doing that to anybody else in there, and I feel like I was led to go there. I felt like um, that was the thing. Get me down there. Get me away from Get me there. Get me into that setting. Fall back, and let them do what they do. Right. So um, I was sleeping, man. They got these big dorm rooms, like bunch of farty, sweaty, dudes in there farting and snoring. And big shout out to Dennis Allen, man. Use of targeted individuals' name is form of harassment, and may God forgive you of your sins. Okay, Dennis. So I was, man, like how they do it is 8 o'clock. You go in there into this place. You can't have no phones. You can't have no cameras. You can't record anything in there. You have to go to you take a shower and then you have to get straight to sleep. So I wasn't really getting that much sleep or anything like that anyway. So I was just wandering out, roaming around, this part of Ohio, and um, a couple times I got a um, hotel room, but it was like, all the money that I had was basically drained and gone. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we are in times where pastors of churches seem to earn more than the average worker. We must stay built. That's right. Big shout out to Awakened State of Mind. So I was in this place and, I fell asleep. And this morning, like, I don't know, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning because I was sleeping and this woke me up out of my sleep. Bam, it was like, it was like, woo, 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 woo. It was like my head felt like it was in a microwave, right? And it was just woo, 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 and it was just going. And I was just like, oh my God, it woke me up. And I felt that pain before. So I knew what was happening. Okay. I knew what was happening. I knew they was zapping me. Like I'm just like, oh my God. And I got up and I tried to go back to sleep and sleep it off, but it wasn't happening, man. And I was just like, man. So I got up and I went to walk to the to whoever was the guys who were in charge of the night shift there at this homeless shelter. And I'm like, man, like, yo, I got this crazy headache. I knew what it was. I knew I was being zapped because I don't get headaches. I've grown up. I probably had maybe one or two headaches before, targeting went overt. Okay. So I went to go talk to the guy, and I'm like, yo, man, I got a headache, man. I'm like, yo, I was in pain, and I was like, oh my God. And he was like, well, what's wrong, man? What's going on? And I'm like, I told him, man, I'm a victim of electronic harassment, man. I'm like, what's that? What's that? And he looked at me like, what is that? And I'm like, and I just began to tell him, about what's going on and how we are targeted, how this is a worldwide thing and it's happening. And mind you guys, like, I want to say like 50 feet from the shelter was a big cell phone tower. It was a big stingray. It was, you know what I mean? I knew what was happening, man. I'm just like, just telling him. And then he pulled out a King James version of his Bible, and he started gaslighting me, man. This guy was like, there's no that can't happen. There is no such thing as that. And blah blah blah. The Bible says that such and read this scripture, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm trying to tell you that yes, this can happen. And it really happens. And I am not the only person that's suffering through this. And he was just going back and forth. And then I start seeing people coming out and looking around the wall. And we went back and forth. And it I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, it pissed me off to the point I was cursing. Like, this dude had me in a rage, sitting here telling me that there's no possible way that that could be happening. And it's just the devil and blah blah. I mean, I felt like I was talking to some people. I ain't gonna go there. I just felt like I was being gaslighted, and we went back and forth for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, like, cause I woke up at 2 o'clock, and then we had to be to work. Well, they had a van that came to pick us up to take us to that same temp agency, okay, the same one. All right, the van came, took us to the. All right, so we went back and forth, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you next. I'm gonna pray for you." This and that and the third. I'm just like, I was so mad. I was just like, yo, whatever, man. I went and got dressed, went outside, waited for the van to come, and the van pulled up, and it just pulled up, and it was just like, somebody's gonna come and get you, and it pulled off, and I'm like, what the? Like, usually the van comes, we get in it, it takes us to the temp savers, like, I'm like, what the? All right, that was weird. And then there was a guy in the shelter, and he was sitting out there, and he was like, well, I heard you in there talking about those attacks. Like, what do you mean? Like, what happened? Like, what were you talking about? And he had his phone out, and I didn't even notice, but he had his phone out. What were you talking about? Like, he was giving an interview or something, right? So I started telling him, yeah, people are targeted individuals, organized stalking. Blah, blah, blah. By this point, like, I was fired up. I was already mad. Um, you know, there was some other stuff going on too, but I was upset. Like, I was really pissed off. And he was like, yeah, I know about that stuff, man. MK Ultra, I know all about. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, wow, this guy knows about it. I'm just like, man. And we was just sitting there talking. And then he started talking about how Donald Trump wasn't a bad guy and all of this stuff. And then I was like, wait a minute here. I was like, all right, well, like, he kind of went off track and everything. And I was just like, all right, man. So the van took us to the same temp agency. We went to the temp agency, and they sent me out on another job, right? And thank you guys too. Everybody tuning in, man. Thank you for watching, man. Thank you for those 5 thumbs up, man. I appreciate you guys. So the you know the van took us to the temp agency. I was there for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes. The temp agency sent me to another job, right? But this time they sent me to work with a perp. Okay. Um, Dude that I was with was a perp, and I actually worked with him, and I know this, and I'm gonna tell you guys how I know. I don't know who this guy is. I never seen him in my life, but the whole time he was around me, he was on his phone and he was pointing it at me, and he and he would laugh and giggle and do little hand signals. And the crazy part about it was, when it was a factory job, and he sent me to some factory somewhere in Ohio, and we were packaging. It was like jewelry cleaner, right? And we were packaging it up, and then the actual girl who worked for the company, she was just talking away and talking, man. And she talked for like the first half of the shift. She just talked it up, talk. And then next thing you know, she was like, man. Next thing you know, she was doing hand signals. She was like, and I noticed it too. And I was trying to like, I'm like, man, I hope and pray that this is not what I'm seeing. Like what I'm seeing here is not happening, right? I'm just doing my job and stuff. And so the perp that they sent me with from the temp agency was just happened to be on the same line as me. And the girl just they doing hand signals and coughing and, and blah blah. And it was consistent. You know what I mean? Because I say that to say this, I am an advocate for, if someone coughs or scratches their head, they use all kind of things that people do, that could be a hand signal, like, and I have the footage, guys. In these videos that I come with, you guys will see. But if it's consistent, then, then that should be the red flag should go up. Like, so if somebody just coughs once and then they just, that's nothing, but if it's just and that forced cough and they just mumbling and saying things under their breath, both of them, the girl who was working for the factory who works there and the perp they sent with me, they both was like, and they were communicating, and I was watching it, and it started pissing me off. I was like, yo, oh my God, I'm working, I'm doing my job and I'm watching, I'm like, yo, I'm working with perps. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just like, oh, it's happening again. Oh my God. I was so mad. And I'm just like, and I asked her, I was like, yo, man, how much are you getting some extra money for these hand signals that you're doing? And she, oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about? She's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And so for the rest of the shift, they're doing hand signals and coughing and doing all of this stuff. And I saw what it was. And I was looking around and I'm just like trying to correlate who are they, you know, communicating with. And I'm watching it all and I'm just like, wow, like, wow. I'm just like, wow. So a lot of things is opening up in my mind. Like I'm just realizing certain things now that this is happening. Like, so we get out of work. Now I'm mad. Now I'm upset. Now I'm pissed off. I'm in the van with this dude, and he's sitting in the back, and he's like with his phone, and he's trying to record me with his phone and making faces and doing weird stuff and making noise in the back, and just trying to startle me. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, man, how long you been doing this for, man? Like, how long you been, with this job, And he's just like, blah, blah, blah. And we're having a conversation, me and him, we are fully in the know about what we're talking about. On the surface, nobody would even, think into it. But I'm asking this dude, how long you been a perp for? And do you think this is cool, bro? Like you can really get yourself hurt, like, harassing people and doing this kind of stuff so we get back to the place and the van gets back to the place, and then things really stepped up then, like the guy from earlier, well, who was like, oh yeah, I know about this, I know about the MK Ultra. He just mysteriously is there and he was like, oh, so where'd you work at today? Next, here's his phone. Where'd you work at today, huh? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where I worked at, bro. Like, oh, you worked at such and such packaging. So how was it? And I saw him, he was like reading off his phone. He was reading stuff off his phone and questioning me. And I'm like, yo, man. I looked and I was like, yo, what are you doing, bro? I was like, let me find out you wanted them, bro. And I like snatched, like he was holding his phone and I like snatched and looked at it. I'm like, let me find out you wanted them, bro. And he was like, oh, and he got all startled and he took off and turned around, walked away. Um, Person I was waiting for showed up. I went and got my stuff. I'm not gonna say too much about that right now, but I went and got my stuff from this person's house and just basically walked away. When I walked away, it was another vibe in Ohio where I was. I walked down the street. People were driving down the street. Fuck you, motherfucker! Blah, 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 beeping the horn, beep, beep, beep. People were driving by like this, with putting their hand out You know what I mean? People were riding motorcycles and, flashing, like grilling me and looking at me like, this is when it got really intense, man. I'm just like, whoa, like I'm watching it happen, man, and I'm just like, what the like, you know what I mean? Like it was perfectly calculated time for things to step up at this point, you know. Now I want to tell you guys, while this was happening, I wasn't scared at all. You know, it was just kind of pissing me off even more, making me, I'm just aware at this point because I know what's happening. You know what I mean? And I'm looking around and I'm looking around and people driving by, fuck you, motherfucker, beep, 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 flicking me off. There was another guy who drove down the street and drove down the street and TIUSA, I've been trying to call you, man. You got my phone number. If you're curious, call me, man. Call me. Seriously. I really need to talk to you, man. But okay, so I'm still in Ohio now. They're beep beep beep. Oh, F you, mother F and this and that, blah blah blah. I'm just like, whoa, right? I'm just like, holy crap. Like I can't believe this is happening right now. You know what I mean? Like people are turning their backs on me. Um, people who I considered friends, like people who I considered, who I had dear love for in my heart. And I'm just like, man, like, and now I'm in a situation where this targeting thing is going nuts, it's going insane, it's going crazy. Um, and I'm just like, wow, okay. I feel like I'm feeling like set up here. I'm feeling like everything was meant for me to be in this situation right now, and it was pissing me off more than anything, man. Like, let's see here, TIUSA, enjoy your shirt sales. Must be nice. I'll be sending the bill since I hijacked your project. What are you talking about? TIUSA, I don't know what are you talking about, but please give me a call, man. So we can talk. Um, I don't see anybody sending any bills or you hijacking anything. I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. Okay. So I'm like, what is going on? People driving by, oh, blah, 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 F you, such and such. Everywhere I go, I get on the bus. And the same guy who was like, yo, where did you work? What did you do? What did you do? Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, this guy's on the bus. TIUSA, nah, I will pass. Unsubscribe. Okay, unsubscribe then, man. Unsubscribe if that's how you feel, TIUSA. I don't know what you're talking about, or what is going on with you, or why you just switching up on people. And I'm not even gonna make that the focus of this stream. Okay. But God bless you, man. And yeah, God bless you, man. Yeah, I really wanted to talk to you, and because there's definitely a miscommunication here with you and me or whatever. Like I don't know what your deal is, but I'm gonna get back to my truth. So, at this point, I'm still in Ohio. Things is going crazy everywhere I go. I get on the bus. This guy's on the bus. He's like, yeah, the operation is fully functional. He gets on his phone and start talking crazy. I go back to the place. Um, I go back to that. Let's see here. I go back to that homeless shelter, man, and it just was weird. Like it was super weird when I got back there, man. People were, pointing their fingers at me. Like people were following me on the way back there. I got off the bus. People were in positions. When I walk by, they're doing hand signals. They're doing all this crap. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like things just revved up. Like it wasn't like that when I first got there, but it was like that, and I'm just like, what? You know what I mean? Like everything started to make sense. Everything started to make sense, man. And now at this place, you have to check in at 6 o'clock, okay, at this homeless place. And they have like a church service, and the church service goes on, and then um Butterfly, what's going on? How you doing, man? I love you, Butterfly. Thank you for tuning in, man. I'm just telling my truth here. Okay. So what's been happening with me? So um 6 o'clock is when they have people check in, and next thing you know, they have a service. These guys come in, they start preaching, and that their service was about everybody ganging up on one person, and when they talked about a scripture where people were saying, um, he who without sin um, um, cast the first stone, or you know what I mean. And so it was, man, it was like, man, it was quite, um, let me see what I want to say, man. It was quite, the timing on it, the timing on everything was crazy. They were doing the service and everything. Everybody's in there looking at me, pointing at me, like almost everybody. I'm not gonna say everybody, but almost. Um, they looked, pointing, everybody doing this, blah, blah, blah. So, um, we went down to eat, and now at this point, now I'm thinking, I'm like, man, because they serve people food and everything, and I'm like, I don't want to eat this food. I don't want anything to do with this. Like, I don't want nothing to do with this crap. Like, I don't even want nothing to do with it. Right? I'm like, already in my mind, I'm like, I got to get out of here. Like, I have to get out of here, straight up. Like, that was my, you know, like, I have to get out of here, straight up. So, I'm in the shelter. I'm in, like, everybody's acting weird. I hear people chatting little comments. I think they were running a smear campaign on me. I think they were trying to say that I was a child molester or something. I don't even know. I think they were running some kind of smear to get these people to, switch up on me in Ohio still, when I was in Ohio. And, man, the next day, they're like, yo, man, I told the guy, before, because after you eat dinner, you have to be in there at 8. You got to turn off all your electronics. You can't have no phones. You can't do anything. There's no Wi-Fi there. There's nothing there. Okay. There's nothing there. And like, only thing is there is a bunch of perps and, stalkers and people pretending to be homeless, right? People pretending that they're to be homeless, but they're really in there, like, stalking you, following you, like, running smear campaigns on you, like, and I peeped it, like, I peeped it. I'm just like, wow, all right, okay. I'm like, wow. Um, all right. So this is what it is. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Like, this is what it is. All right, cool. So, in my mind, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here, right? Butterfly says things have gotten hairy and scary in my life lately. Job is filling up with since I went back. Someone even mentioned schizo multi-personality disorder today in an unrelated convo. Your stream is sounding like it's being tampered with. Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I am sorry that you're going through that. It seems like the closer we get to August 29th, like, people are switching up, people are acting shady, people are not answering your phone calls or text messages, people are making promises like, oh yeah, come on out here, I'll show you around, I got a place for you, I got this and that, and then they don't even, you know, I don't know, man. It's a lot of things going on. Like, I have been through so much, man, and like, this is my truth right now. Like, I'm just telling you guys what I went through. I'm trying to say it in a way where I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, um, and I'm not calling anybody out or saying, you know what I mean. That's not what I'm about. I'm not trying to expose anybody, or you know what I mean. That's definitely not what I'm about here. So, yeah, man. So the next day, I told the guy, look, take me off. you know, from the wake up in the morning, you know, because you got to go in at 8 o'clock. After 8 o'clock, your day is over. Basically, after 6 o'clock, it's over. You don't have any time to, um, you don't have any time to talk on the phone or be on your computer. They don't have Wi-Fi there, so there's no way you could do anything online. That's why you guys have seen, you know, I went through a stint like without making any videos. Like I am dedicated to this and what I'm doing, right? So if you guys see 3, 4, 5 days go by and you don't see any videos from me, just know that something is wrong and things is happening and I am not able to, you know, do what it is I do. You know what I mean? Due to my surroundings or what is happening. Or that's when you worry. That's when you say a prayer for me. When you don't see me posting any videos, any music, or anything. You know what I mean? So I told the guy, look, you know, take me off from the wake up list because they wake people up who go to that same temp agency, right? They wake people up and and told them take me off the list, man. You know, I need to you need to talk to caseworkers and you need to talk to these people and such and such. So I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to the caseworker or whatever, you know. So I take my shower, you know, and it's still creepy stuff. People still talking and saying little funny stuff here and there, and you know, I ignore it. You know what I mean? But they do this stuff to bother you. They do this to get on the inside, to really get inside your mind, to really, you know, they do that stuff, right? So um it was like, man, I just was like, oh man, take me off of the list. I don't want to get up. I got, you know, I want to do some stuff tomorrow. I want to wash my clothes or whatever. So um I went to sleep. And mind you, they kept switching my bed around, switching me around different dorms. They switched me to this dorm. They up all night having directed conversation, you know, taking shots at me or whatever. I was like, whatever, you know, like they were insinuating in the dorm that they were gonna do something to me. Like, yeah, we know such and such will stab him up and blah. Like they were saying these things, and I'm just in my bed, like, you know, whatever, you know. I just went right to sleep, and so next thing you know, I feel somebody like tugging on me, and I get up and I'm about to like punch somebody in the face, and it's the guy who's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" He was like, "Whoa, you're supposed to get up for work," and I was like, "No, I told him to take me off of that list." Like I was so mad, I was like, "Take me off of it!" Like I watched the guy in the computer, you know, take me off of the wake up list for work because I wasn't going back there to, you know, to get gang stalked some more. You know what I mean? I wasn't about to go through that again. Basically, you know, I was over it. I knew I had to get out. Like the guy was telling me, yo, you need to get out of there. You know, like I felt that inside. It was nobody who I could trust, nobody that I could talk to. You know, everybody was switching up on me. Everybody was giving me their back or acting like, you know, avoiding me, avoiding my calls, my text messages. I had somebody like get act brand new over a stupid shirt, you know, a shirt design, you know, that I had every intention on doing, but you know, my targeting and my gang stalking was going so crazy. I didn't even have time to have a clear thought. Everything was coming at me so crazy. I mean, constantly, like from the time I woke up to the time I went to work or whatever the case may be, on the 24 hours a day it was happening, right? And then everybody was turning their back on me and acting shady and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, like, you know, and I was literally alone. You know, I had no way to get online or no way to, you know, and some people were trying to call me and my phone was off and they're like, yo, man, what's up? I tried to call you. And I'm like, yo, I was, you know, trying to explain to them, you know, this is how the rules work in this place. You are not allowed to have no phone or nothing, you know, so um yeah, man, the guy woke me up and I'm just almost jabbed him. Like he almost caught a straight jab to the face, seriously. And I told him, like, yo, um, I was supposed to be taken off the list. He was like, I'm sorry, you know. So the next day came and I woke up and they went and ate breakfast. Now at this point, I'm not even eating none of the food that they serve at this homeless place because I know a lot of that stuff is processed and it's filled with nano, and I I didn't even want to eat none of this stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm not even really eating even the fruit and the vegetable and the stuff that I didn't even trust that. You know what I mean? So um it was just, I was very aware of what was going on, and in my mind I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm about to wash my clothes and I'm out. So they're like, yeah, you got to see the caseworker. So I seen the caseworker, and he's like, yeah, man, so what's been going on with you, man, here and such, and you feeling like people are after you, huh? And I'm like, well, I just told him, it's a lot of um, things that are not right in this town, in the world, basically. He's like, oh, well, you're thinking people are after you and such. And I'm like, try to explain to this caseworker guy about, electronic harassment and organized stalking. And this guy gaslighted me. He was like, yo, man, well, it sounds like you're paranoid, man. Do you want to see a doctor? It sounds like you need some medication and blah. And I'm just like, what? Like, I couldn't believe that he was saying that. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe that he was saying this to me, you know? And I'm like, no, man, I don't need no doctor. But we'll put you on medication and such and such. And I'm like, nah, man, just forget about it. After he said that, I was like, I didn't say anything else. I just wanted out of there. My clothes were washed, and I packed everything up in my backpack and just basically got went to I think I went to the library, to do some information and see what time things come. And on the way to walk to the library, they were still doing the same thing, driving by, F you, blah, blah, blah. People driving by giving me these nasty, dirty looks. I think people were saying, oh, he's got a hit out on him or something. You know what I mean? Like, people were saying crazy shit. And I'm sitting in the library, like, people walking by, they're walking by and they're doing all of that crazy stuff. And it got intense even in the library. It got crazy. Um, it seemed like everywhere I went, like, people were like, oh, and like doing all this crazy stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? All right, so I went back, got my stuff, went to the bus station. I'm like, I gotta get out of this town. I gotta get out of this town. So I caught a bus, Greyhound bus, with the last little bit of money I had, um, and I went to Cleveland, and I went to Cleveland, and I had like a couple dollars, and I went and got me like a sub or something to eat because I had not eaten. I stopped eating that food like 2 days ago. Once I figured out what was going on, and I ate a sub, and I went to the bus station, and I was trying to figure out, what what can I do, where to go. And I'm just like, man, I'm trying to call people and like trying to get a hold of people, and nobody's answering the phone. And you guys ever notice that, man? Ti is like, when you are in a deep situation, pressure situation, or some things are really happening, the momentum is, and you try to call somebody, you try to call everybody you think is a friend, or you think it has your back, and nobody answers the phone, nothing. And then you're just like, you're just trying to figure out what is going on, and nobody is answering the goddamn phone. And you're just like, man. And but mind you, when all of these things are happening, like when I had, people flipping out on me and just out of nowhere and just cussing at me and such, and I get away from that, everybody calls you at once. Does that ever happen to people? And you're trying to tell somebody like what happened, and then boom, you get a beep, and then you get another beep, and everybody is calling you at the same. Is that a tactic that they use too? I don't know. I'm not really sure, but that's definitely happened to me, um, more than because things have been happening every day. I'm telling you, every day in August, something is, every day, you know. So, I went to Cleveland, and and just like walking around, and I went to the bus station, and they got Wi-Fi in there, and I'm trying to figure out, where should I go, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just stay here because I felt like I left. I thought that I had left all of that crazy stuff back in the town that I was in, and I'm like, all right, now I get a deep breath, and I'm sitting in the bus station, the Greyhound station, and I'm looking stuff up, and then I look up, and it was this cute girl, and she was staring at me, but she was staring at me like this, and she was smiling like, and I was looking at her, and I was like, man, I looked, and I was like, man, you know what, man? I was like, man, here we go again, And I'm like, they got cute ones up here, so it's okay. She can stay there if she wants. So I'm sitting there, and I'm looking up, different things. I was looking up like different hotels and seeing if I can, go find something to go to because, my friend was, um, she was on the phone, and she told me, well, see if you can find something that might be able to help you out, get something going. And I was like, all right, cool. And I'm looking at this girl. She's staring at me with her phone. Like when they stare at you with the phone like this and they're staring at you, not the phone, like, look, it's a difference between this. Like, with the smartphones, they're looking at the phone, but they're like this. I peeped out what it was, and so I'm looking at different stuff, and then something just said, "Look around." Maybe it was the Holy Spirit said, "Look around," and I looked around, and there was one there, two there, it was like three there, and it was like two or three of them behind me, watching me on my computer, watching what I was doing, you know what I mean, reporting, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm looking, and I'm like, yo, like I'm surrounded. I'm like, wow, but at the same time, I wasn't like, oh my god, but I was cool, I was just like, oh, all right, all right, cool. Took out my camera, and I'm just like, yeah, look at the architecture, and you guys will see that, on the video, the next video that I post, and you guys will see more um, of what happened. But once I figured out that was happening, I'm like, damn, I just left this town, and that was happening again here in Clayton. I'm like, what the? Like, this is ridiculous. And I'm thinking, like, yo, you know what, man? I am a God fearing. I'm not out to expose anybody. I'm not out to make people run smear campaigns. I'm not out to, hurt or steal or do anything negative to people. But mind you, you got people that's murderers who's probably out killing somebody right now, drug dealers, rapists, just out here just pillaging, right? And they just out and about. And I'm like, man, and these people are like on me like that. Are you serious? Like, are you serious? Are you seriously serious? Like you guys are like doing all of this. I felt in that moment, I felt like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible or something like that. I'm just like, man, right? Because I'm just fully aware and watching this stuff happen in real time, and I'm just like, wow, like, um, man, So I'm watching it, and I come outside, and I went to smoke, my cigars that I smoke, you know. Come outside and I smoke, and I watch them come outside with me, and they had some cute girls that was doing it too. Like there were some cute girls, and I'm watching them, and then they had some other dudes. They had some hood dudes. They had some like cowboy looking guys, some nerdy look. They had all different kind of people, and I'm just like, wow. And I'm just like watching it. It wasn't like I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I was just like, hmm, wow, this is interesting. This is interesting, and just watching it, man, just watching it happen, like watching them do, watching them surround me. And then they have things where this guy was standing in front of me, and he had his phone up, and he was like trying to front like he was taking a selfie. And I saw him, and I threw the peace sign up. I was like this, I knew what they were doing, they didn't bother me at all. I just was like, you know so, once I seen them doing all of that, I was just like, you know what? I gotta get out of Ohio, man. I gotta get out of here. Like straight up. I need to get out of Ohio, like now. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not even gonna stay here. you know. So I'm not gonna give these people what they want, you know, like I'm just gonna get out of here, you know. So I just started walking because you know, when I went to Cleveland, my thing was I was just gonna get a room there somewhere and just, you know, relax and unwind. Because mind you, I had been at this shelter, this, you know, and where they were gang stalking people, where people were being targeted, where almost all the people in there were you know, involved, and it spiraled to the place where I tried to get a job at, but they were all intertwined. Everything was all intertwined. You know what I mean? Like, um, I barely had a moment of clarity to even pray, you know, or to even I had to just walk away from it. And mind you, like my heart is breaking for the person who, you know, invited me to come down there, who switched up on me. You know, I was like really, and then another situation with somebody else who I thought was really a dear friend, fellow TI, who just switched up. Like all of this stuff was just happening all at once, and then it was like, you know, like one after one after one. You even seen somebody come on the stream today and had some slick stuff to say, right? That I'm not gonna go there right now, but you know, people are turning their back on me, and you know, and all this stuff is just like, man, it's just like, wow. And then I started to think, like, man, what was this even a good idea to, you know, travel around and like meet TIs, and because the times that I, you know, did, you know, the people who I, you know, met, not gonna call out any names or say anything, but you know, things went left with them. You know what I mean? And it kind of, you know, kind of broke my heart, man. Left me with a broken heart. Seriously, man. Like, not trying to plug on my new song or nothing, but I'm definitely right about this situation, man. But and I'm just like, man, I'm just walking around, and I'm just like, man, I'm like, I haven't really got any sleep like that. They were like zapping me in this place, and I'm just like, man, um, I need to get out of here. And you know, my money, I had little to no money. I had like a couple dollars in my pocket. You know, everything, all the money that I eventually had, I had like, you know, I had a little bit of money in my PayPal account, but that's not money that I can go in the store with and do anything or nothing like that. So I just was like, man, I need to get out of here. I called up my friend, and I'm like, yo, man, you know, explain to her what was going on, because she has been a real friend to me, you know, like out of all of this, you know, and I thank God for her, and I thank God for her every day. Um, she called me and said, yo, next, if you need to get an Uber somewhere, you know, let me know what's going on, and I'll send you over, bro. Like, you know, that's what I can do for you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm walking. I left the bus station, you know, because I see them out there getting pictures and doing what they do. And I started thinking, man, like, man, are these perps, do they get more money like when they get you on a footage, like, or when they, you know, do a hand signal or point to you, like, do they have a perp account? And every time they do a signal, like, are they accumulating money in this thing or so? I don't know, because they stalk. Excuse me, they stalk with a passion. You know, with a passion. Okay, so um, I'm walking around Ohio, and everywhere, like I don't know, I'm walking around Cleveland. That's in Ohio. Now everywhere I went, like I didn't know where I was. You know, I don't know Cleveland. I'm not from there. You know, and I'm walking, and you know, every corner, like somebody was put there, and like people were following me in the cars, and you know, stuff was happening, and I'm just dolo, and I'm just praying, like, Lord, I know it's a purpose for this. Like, I know you are with me, so I am not even gonna be scared. You know, like fear does not exist here. You know, just lead me lead the way, and I'm gonna follow and trust in you, right? So I'm just walking, and you know, some guy comes up to me and was like, yo, man, I was smoking one of my cigars here, and he was like, yo, you got a cigarette? And I'm like, nah, this is a hood dude. He's a hood dude, had a little size on him, walks up to me, you got a cigarette? And I'm like, nah, I don't have no cigarettes, bro. And um I flicked the little cigar that I did have, and then next thing you know, he was like, all right, cool. And then he walked past me, and then he started shaking the garbage can and cussing like motherfucker, blah, blah, boosh, 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 boosh. And I laughed. I was just laughing like, well, whatever. Like I just kept it moving. And then he started to follow me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just walking and he started to follow me. And I'm thinking inside my head, I'm like, yo, if this dude try me, I'm gonna like stall off on him. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't play that, bro. Like I ain't gonna let nobody just like, do me dirty or nothing like that, So I'm walking down the street and I start seeing more like they're like hood, they look like drug addicts or something. Like maybe they were on drugs or something, but they were definitely perps. They were out there and walking past me, giving me dirty looks. They try to give me the tough guy look, like, you know what I mean? I'm just walking like, hey, what up? I say, hey, what's up? How you doing? And just walking, walking along. And I didn't know where I was. Like I had no clue where I was, and I'm just walking and so next thing you know, I could still hear the guy. Like he was cussing, mother F that, we're gonna F this and blah blah the blah blah blah. Like he was screaming loud, I'm just like, it's whatever. Like, if somebody touch me, it's gonna be a problem. Like I'm really like you know what I mean? Like that's how I feel inside. Like, you can scream, shout, you can shake garbage cans all you want. It's not gonna startle me, but if you touch me, you come in my circumference and you try me, then that's going to be different. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm just like, whatever, I'm walking down the street and, my friend, she already told me like, yo, if you need a Uber, then let me know. Right. And, I'll get you an Uber. And I'm just like, all right, cool. So I'm walking down the street. I see a police car and I'm just like, oh man, I'm just hoping like, oh my God, police car. So, I go into the store, right? And the cops were in the store. It was two cops, and it was like a deli, and it was open. Now, this is late, mind you guys. This is like, I want to say it was like 12 o'clock. It was like 12 something. And some cops was in a deli, and I went in there, and I'm like, yo, man, I have my backpack on. I'm like, yo, do you guys know where the train station is? And then one cop was cool. Like the one cop was like, yeah, I know where the train station is. He was like, just go up this way, go up Fifth and turn around and go down this way. And then, matter of fact, check this out. Like, he was like, go down this way and such, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm not from here. Man. I don't know nothing about, where I am, where this thing. He was like, I'm gonna draw you a map. He was like, I'm gonna draw you a map, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, he was like, I'm gonna draw you a map. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm in there waiting for him to, draw this map or whatever the case may be. And I can see outside. Outside, look, he drew this map, guys. I'm telling you, this is a fact. Like this, I'm not making this stuff up. He drew this map right here. This is the map that the cop drew for me. If you guys can see it. So it says, you are here. And he drew this map, but it took him a long time to draw this map. Like, it took him like, I want to say like 5 minutes or so. I don't know. The one cop was cool who drew this map, but it bought me enough time. Like I text my friend and I was like, yo, send me an Uber right now. You know what I mean? Send me an Uber to ask the guy who was working, what is the address to the store? I'm like, send me an Uber right now. As he was doing this, I took my camera out my pocket and I could see that the one dude who was cussing and shaking, he walked past, looked in the store, was grilling me, and he had other people with him. Like they squatted up. Had to be about like 6 or 7 of them dudes. They were just walking past the store, like circling it like sharks, like staring in there, looking at me. And I was aware of it. I was just acting like it was nothing. Though I'm just like, well, I don't know. So if anybody knows Cleveland, right, and you look at this map let me see. You look at this map here that the cop drew me. You can see where I was here. And this is where he said the train station was. And the cop really took time to draw this. And the train station was here, I think, right here. So I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, in my head, I was going to the airport. I was not catching a plane. You know, I just asked the cop that because I had no money in my pocket. Like I had no money to catch a train or a bus. You have to have money, paper money, or a debit card if you're gonna catch a bus or a train. You know, but I had a little bit of money in my PayPal account, so I'm like, all right, yeah, man. In my mind, I've never flew on a plane before in my life. Never, you know, it wasn't that I was scared or anything. I just never had the opportunity to do it. So, you know, in that moment, I'm just like, yo, I am gonna get on the airplane. I want out of Ohio and I want it. You know what I mean? Like I felt inside like I needed to get out of there. I felt like God was telling me, you need to get out straight up. So I had told my friend, she sent for an Uber to come and Uber came and and mind you, like, you know, a couple minutes went by. It had to be like maybe I want to say maybe 2 to 8 minutes went by, and you know, and I'm just in there just nonchalant. I had a little bit of money, like a couple dollars. I bought me a water, so the guy wouldn't be like, "Oh, you can't just hang in here, such and such." The one cop drew the map. The other cop was talking weird. He was like, "Yeah, man, and I like to get in people's heads and blah blah blah." Like he was talking weird. Like he was saying some other stuff, and it made me feel like, man, this dude might be in on it too. You know, I don't know. So, got the text message from a friend said the Uber, this car is pulling up. Boom. So I get out. I walked outside before, you know, she said the Uber was there and I just walked outside and I stood outside like this and and I just stood there like, you know, just watching everything like and I watched them. I watched how them dudes was up there up the street and they was like waiting for me to come out and I just was sitting there and the Uber pulled up and you know, I walked across the street and you know they sent some other like it was a hood dude that was with them, you know, with the dudes that tried to squat up on me, man, and he came walking direction. Now you know when you walking right, and let's say you crossing the street and somebody is coming your way, right? This dude's coming like had like a nasty look on his face, like he wanted to do something, and um he's walking my way. So you know, you're walking towards each other. You try to move out the way. You know, you lean towards another way so you guys can walk past each other, right? So I saw he was coming, so I tried to move out the way, but I saw he was moving with me, right? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I see what's gonna be, right? So he's walking towards me, and when I saw that he was doing that, then I stopped. Then I start walking straight towards him because I'm like, he was a little skinnier guy, like he didn't want no chest action, man. He was trying to, you know, I don't know if it was all intimidation or what it was, but he didn't want that. You know, he definitely didn't want that chest action, man. So I walked past him, and he, you know, I thought it got to the point where I thought we were gonna bump, you know, because it was only me and him. Now Cleveland, the traffic there, the streets is really wide and big. We was downtown Cleveland. You know, I walked past him, and he just gave me this nasty look, and I'm just like, whatever, you know what I mean? So I got in the car and right away, the guy took me to the airport, and I went to the airport there, and I went in there, you know, washed my face, went into the bathroom, washed my, you know, did some prayer in there, and you know, was just I didn't know, you know, I had to make a decision. I had to wanted to go somewhere, and I had mind you guys, I've never taken an airplane in my life, you know, like that was new to me. Like I wasn't scared at all. Like I was a little nervous. I'm gonna keep it real. I was just because I never been on an airplane, but you know, I was just nervous because you know when you are going through these things, you know, so they sabotage things, you know, like, and I was just hoping that I would have been able to get on and book a flight, you know, with my PayPal. I had a little bit of money in there, and so took a wash up in the bathroom, did some prayer, came out, and right away when I came out, they were doing it in the airport. The perps are in there, like coming, all pointing and all laughing at me and and doing the cough and like how they do. They were doing that stuff in there, and while I was in the yeah. I mean, right away when I was in there, like a random people, and it was crazy. It was like young, old, old lady in the wheelchair was in there doing. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm like, oh my God, the amount of people that are in on this, right? I mean, this is my truth. This is my truth. Big shout out to everybody tuning in, man. I'm gonna go back to everybody's questions and answering everybody's questions. I just want to get this out real quick, man. And so I looked at the different things on there. I have never booked a flight before in my life, man. I booked a flight. God bless, God bless me, man, and everything went through, and I picked Tampa. You know what I mean? I picked Tampa, Florida. When I left Ohio, because there was one person in particular, especially the one person who came on the stream a little bit earlier, had some weird things to say. Um, Me and that person were close. Me and that person. Well, that's what I thought, that we were cool. And that person lives in Tampa, and I knew a couple other people. The guy who called me a little earlier, he lives in the area, and there's a couple other TIs that I knew, and I always told them like, "Yo, I'm gonna come down there." Like I'm gonna come down there. I'm not sure when, but I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna check you guys. And it was gonna be before TI day, and I said that. I didn't know it was gonna work out like this, but so I picked Tampa. The flight was like 100 and almost $200, for a one-way trip, down from Cleveland to Tampa. And so I booked the flight and went through. Um, and but the thing about it was, I had to wait like mad hours. It wasn't like I just got to the airport, booked it, got on the airport, boom. No, I had to wait mad hours, and I was sitting there, and they were just stalking me the whole time that I was in there. And the stalking was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, right? It was crazy. That's the stuff that they were doing in the airport. I was like, what? So it followed me like everywhere. Like it had, boom, it kept happening everywhere. And I'm just like, man, I'm just sitting there, and just people coming up to me, sitting down next to me, and putting stuff there in my way, and um, doing a little snickering and hand signals, and um, and guys, I have the footage. That's what I want to tell you guys. I have footage, okay? Um, I have footage of a lot, and I just want to get you guys prepared for, these videos that I'm gonna be putting out pretty soon here. But when I touched down in Florida, um, I called someone that I thought was a dear friend. Um, this person invited me to come to Tampa. Um, oh yeah, such and such and this and that. Couldn't get this person to answer the phone for some reason. I don't know what that reason was, but I called. You just remember, guys, when I said earlier, when you are in a situation and you are trying to call people, nobody answered the phone. I sat in that airport for I don't even know how long, like, oof, a long time. I sat in there just trying to call people, trying to get people on the phone, trying to text them. Nobody texted me back, nothing. I called a couple of people in Orlando. They answered the phone for me, but they're like, man, we're in Orlando, man. Such as when you gonna come up here, such and such. But it's like, man, along my journey, I set out back in New York. I said that I wanted to do some traveling, because I know the real TIs, people who are really targeted, who are going through things, are afraid. And I know they are probably in their house, scared to death, and I wanted to be someone that just does more than make YouTube videos, that does more than, do podcasts, do more. I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more to help them, and to actually, come to them and say, look, I'm here, hey, what's up? That's, if it's anything I could do to help, maybe try to get them to go outside and walk, or if there's anything I could do, like if I had the money, like I could take them out, get some food or something, to a movie, or that's what I wanted to do, like accumulate some money and actually help people who are in need, and get my Patreon going, and use that money to actually help people. You know what I mean? Not just to hoard money or whatever the case may be, because I'm not even in that position, guys. Like, and I keep it real, about what my situation is. Um, I wanted to be that guy to pull up, that guy who's actually going through it too. But I want to tell you, man, my truth. People I don't know why people have been shitting on me straight up. I'm gonna just say it like that. Gaslight me, um, abandoning me, like leading me in traps, like making scenes in public, um, disrespecting me. You know, these same people who I thought were friends, cutting me off. Giving me their back, not answering the phones for me, like when things was happening. Granted, if something happens, right? If I tell you I'm gonna do something, right, and I don't get right to it, it's for a reason. Call me, ask me what's going on, ask me what's happening. You know what I mean? My situation, my stalking, my targeting went to the next level. Okay, the next level, like, and it has been consistent. Like this is crazy. Like, and not just me, like and I haven't had a moment to even get online. Like, not only were they stalking me in, like, in general in life, but when I was in these places, like when I went to the airport, they had cyber ops teams there that was crashing my streams, crashing my my browsers, like when I was trying to look up different things, and I was trying to look up different different things, uh, airplane tickets or whatever the case may be. They were targeting me, like targeting my electronics, targeting my computer. I couldn't even, they were like, when I would be on the phone with somebody, they would end my phone call, boop, end it. Like, what? I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Things was happening so crazy at a fast rate, and I'm just like, man. And then in the TI community, I had people calling me up like, yo, such and such is, this is happening, and so such and such turning back on, and such is telling people not to buy your shirts, and such about my shirts. Like, I made a video about my shirts, man. I had decided to do that when I first thought about coming on YouTube, and doing what I do. Like, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be different. Like, I wanted to think, I thought about every possible way that we can bring awareness to what's happening. You know what I mean? So I started doing that. Me. I didn't see anybody else doing it. I started doing that. You know what I mean? And now you go, oh, people are telling me such and such. And I'm just like, what? Like, oh my God. Like, it was so much happening, not only to me, but to to a lot of the people who I did talk to, and then the people who I met. Those situations was so crazy. Like, there was a couple situations where things went smooth and things was cool, and I'm cool with those people. But it was another few a lot of situations where, I'm led to believe otherwise about certain people, and like, for people to just shit on me like that, like how they did, and just did me any kind of way. And this was like, I felt like, people are put in place to, for you to meet and, act crazy, and then to put smears out there, and then people who I've talked to on the phone and stuff like that, I started hearing people behind my back say, "Oh, Next is a perp, Next is a perp," and blah. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, yo, I've been going through this since I've been born. You know what I mean? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, damn, the videos that I have put out, like I don't really try to focus on, all the negative things that happen to me, because I try to, show people that, that I know if you are targeted, you are going through a lot. And the last thing you want to do is click on somebody else's video and see them, but that's not going to help you at all. I want people to, um, inspired to, still live your life and still do whatever it is that, the Lord put in your heart for you to do, no matter what's coming against you, you know, and to not focus on this stuff. Like, I had so much, and you guys are going to see on these videos, these next videos that I put out and different things. I got, um, but they were like turning me away from places. They were shutting things down. Like, people were stabbing me in the back. Switching up. Count after. And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, so I have to reevaluate things now. Like, and do I still want to do this? Like, do I still want to be traveling around trying to meet people, and, when these things is happening? You know what I mean? I honestly feel like, these things are put in place for, certain things to make you look bad. When I talk to people, and, I build a good rapport with them, and then next thing you know, I get told that people are behind my back calling me a perp. Those same people that I'm like cool, and I'm like thinking they're cool, some are moderators on my channels, like, some people just out of nowhere just don't want to be cool, or people just shit on you, and then don't no apology, disrespected, they talking reckless, get no apology, you know, and it's been happening, man. And I just had to just reiterate, like, man, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to keep this going. Like, when I am heavily targeted myself, like, I have been targeted since I was born, and that's a series that I started, that video, targeted since birth. I'm going to keep that going and explain what I'm going through, what I've went through every stage of my life to get me to this point where I am right now, to let you guys know why I feel how I feel about this whole situation. You know what I mean? And man, and it didn't stop. Like, when I got down here, it was even more crazier. It was even crazier. Like, the only thing about it is, I didn't have, nobody knew I was coming here. Nobody knew I was coming down here. Things just got crazy, and I just was like, yo, I had to make a decision, and then bam, I just picked down here because I figured, I got peoples that I know, and, I'm still on my journey. Like, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel around, meet TIs, and, meet and get footage, and get my story out there, and get my perception and my experience, and, in my journey, and show people that you can still, live your life. You can still travel. You can still meet people. You don't have to be afraid, because I feel like that's the key to this whole thing. They want people to be scared. They want people to be afraid. But it's a lot more to it than that, and I'm learning. And somebody asked me earlier, how can you trust people, or how do you trust people? And that is something, I don't trust people. I don't. I trust God. I trust the Most High. I don't trust people at all. And trust is earned. Trust is earned over time, but you have situations where people are, in relationships for 10, 20 years, and then after the 20th year, they get stabbed in the back. Me personally, I have situations as far as my family. I feel almost everybody I know has shitted on me, and have done me straight dirty. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, what? F you. Like, it's all me. Like, oh, Next is a perp. That's all they can say, man. And um, so at the end of the day, I really don't trust people. I trust God, And if God leads me in a certain direction to be the messenger or to be the light or to be whatever it is, at the end of the day, like I am not perfect. I do not profess to be perfect. I am not one of those people who are like, oh, I'm like, you are the open doors and all of this crap, because there's no such thing as that. Every, everyone sins. Every day people sin. Every day, whether it's a thought, whether it's an action, whether you look at the girl and you're like, "Ooh, she got a big butt. I would just wax." That's we sin. You know, um, and that is why, Jesus died on the cross so that we could be forgiven. For our sins. Nobody is perfect, and I don't profess to be perfect. But there's some people who I really had love. Well, I still got love for them, even though I might not talk to them or I might not, want anything to do with them. Like the love is still in my heart. Like if I ever say I love you, I mean it. And you can shit on me all you want, but at the end of the day, real love never dies. It doesn't. Like so, if you are like one day you love somebody and then the next day you don't, it wasn't never love to begin with. Meeks, what's going on? I'm doing a live stream right now. Say what's up to the people.
Oh, what's up, man? Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
Good out there.
Yeah, man. The live stream is going pretty good. I'm just explaining a couple things and gonna answer some questions here. What's going on with you?
Oh, not too much. I'm just at work right now, but I just wanted to see how you're doing.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, well, yeah, man. Everything is pretty good. I'm not gonna say, too much about what's going on the stream right now here, but I'll, maybe I'll throw you a text or something later, and
Right, yeah, no problem.
yeah, we'll talk about.
I don't want to interrupt you.
It's cool.
We'll have to do a live stream sometime soon.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's make it happen, man. Definitely.
Oh, good.
Definitely.
All right, I'll catch you later then.
All right, man. Be good, man.
Right.
Love you, Meeks. Be good.
All right, bye.
All right, that was Meeks B. Big shout out to her, man. If you guys don't know who that is, check out her channel. I'll leave a link in the description after this is over with. Man, yeah, so yeah, man, I've been stuck out on the streets, man. I've been going through things, man, and things has not been easy for me, right? You guys might see my videos, and I've even had somebody say to me, well, they have perps that travel around and such, and I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know too many people. I don't really focus on perps or anything, or once people show you who they are. Perps will show you who they are. You know what I mean? Like, and once I get that, once I see what it is, and it's pretty much quiet for me. I don't really want to do anything or anything to do with a perp or anything like that, man. Let me see, man. I'm gonna go back a little bit and see here, and see if I can answer some questions here. And mind you, guys, um, let me see, man. If you guys got any questions that you want to ask me, I'm gonna type in my number one more time. 80668. Bam, that's my number here. If you want to ask me some questions, shoot me a question or whatever. I'll answer it. Let me see here. What happened on the 29th? Caramare says, what happened on the 20th? Well, August 29th is TI Day. My friend Louis Rowe, he started a day that we can, bring awareness to what is happening globally. Um, and then I saw something, man. My guy Jonathan E. Triumphant, I saw him. I didn't actually get a chance to watch the video, but he said that August 14th is the day for fasting and prayer, for all TIs around the world. So I'm definitely going to be participating in that. I didn't get a chance to watch this video, though, man, but I'm going to check that out. Let me see. Um, let's see here in nature. Yeah, but, throughout my travels, like since I've left New York, man, it's been one thing after the next, man. People have been turning their back on me and shitting on me and find some reason to, disrespect me and call me this and that. I'm a liar. I'm a conniver. I'm a this and that. I'm a perp. I'm a this. And they're doing it behind my back. And, you know, um, you know what I mean? And these were some people who I thought were cool, like who I thought were my friends. Um, and I got so much more. Like this has been going for almost 2 hours, man. So I'm kind of like I want to answer some questions here, and then if you guys are watching, look out for my new videos. There's gonna be a lot of things that you're gonna see here. Let me see. You should watch this movie called The Game. It's about the program and I saw that Big Dream. Well, I didn't see the whole movie, but I saw some clips on it. Let me see, Shalom. And I don't know if you guys were what day was that? I think it was Saturday night or Sunday. When I was at the airport, I was trying to do a live stream, man, and the if you guys saw, I don't know, but they were clipping it every time, cutting it, because the signal that I used, it was an open signal, and they have psyops teams in the airport, and they were gang stalking me like crazy there, man. Like they have, I mean, droves of people, like, uh, I mean, even families. I saw families stalking, like grandpa, grandma, granddaughter, great grand. They were all in there, just. I mean, it was ridiculous, man. It really was, man. And you guys are gonna see it. The stream buffer for a long time after next mentions rabbit. Yes, the rabbit. The rabbit is what the rabbit is a term that the stalkers use now. That these are the private, the not just the street stalkers that are lied to and decepted into and told stories to watch you. I'm talking about the people who are on the payrolls. Okay, the people who are working with these private security contractors, man, and they are trained to follow us and watch us. And our friend Laura, targeted in Ireland, she posted a video about that. They had like a commercial where they were recruiting people just to do stalking, and yo, man, they refer to TIs as rabbit, like move, and the rabbit is such and such. They don't call us targets or TIs or whatever the case may be. And they're usually, fed a bunch of crap, and and it's crazy, man, because to me, like, I don't understand, how these murderers and people 30, 40, 50, 100 kilos of coke, but they can just, go about free will and just do whatever they want. But, people like me and you who are just honest, good-hearted people who love and care and pray and whatever, we are the rabbits, and they're just watching us and all around and just everywhere. Like, I seen so much, like, it was so crazy. Like, if I didn't have God, I know I probably would have really things would have really went left for me, man. Even though they did go left, I mean, like, just I don't know how I would have dealt with it, man. Butterfly says your stream is sounding like it's being tampered with. Oh dear. Wow. Let me see. I'm glad you got away from there, God. But I noticed that too. Butterfly, you can call me. What's with all the homeless coming up on a daily 4 or 5 times a day for money theater? Sure. I don't understand that. What's with all the homeless coming up on daily 4 or 5 times a day for money theater? I don't know what that. I don't know what that question is. Um, where do you stay next? Okay, so as of this point, like I don't have a home. You know what I mean, Corbin Dallas. Like I don't have a home. Um, like I don't have a home base right now. Like I'm just moving around right now. Right now, I'm in Florida, bro. I'm in Florida. I hate flying. Good for you. You didn't hate it. No, actually, no. I thought flying was pretty cool. I don't know. And I got some shots too while I was on the airplane, man. You guys will see it in some of my videos. Let's see here. Celebrities are used. Why do you think people get targeted? Good question. Love of True 32. Okay. All right. So everybody has got a different um answer to this. Everybody's got a different opinion. Um, but me personally, I think that um there's so many different reasons and different levels to this program, and there's so many different layers, and I think there's so many different reasons for everyone's situation. Some people think that they're like, oh, I stole or I took something from I took something from my boss's desk at work, and they targeted me for it. Or some people think is for some bad decision that they made, or I had sex with this one and I cheated on such and such, and they targeted me for that, But me personally, I think that it's I think it's a war against light and dark. Okay, and my guy Pastor Jim, I think his name is, on my song, um From Darkness to Light, at the end of the song, if you guys ever check it out on my video, he says a little something at the end, and it resonated with me, about the enemy and all of his forces. Like God, when I feel like this, when God created us, he created each and every person here on this planet with a purpose, and he equipped us with gifts and spiritual gifts, and gifts. Some people might be big and strong. That might be a gift from God, then you might end up being a wrestler or a football player or something, right? God equipped us with spiritual gifts. I'm not sure what everybody's gift is or whatever the case may be, but the enemy knows to a certain degree, who we are even more than we do. And I feel like, the chosen ones, right? The ones who have been targeted since birth, the ones who have been through the persecution and the trials and tribulations on different many levels, and I feel like the enemy is coming against us to try to deter us from whatever it is that God has ordained us to do, from whatever our destiny is on this earth. It's got to be something powerful. It's got to be something amazing. Like we have everyone is sent, and the Lord created everyone with a purpose. This is my opinion, and the ones who are targeted, they are trying to destroy everything in our life. They're trying to take us off track from whatever it is that God has ordained us to be. They're trying to, break us in many ways. They're trying to kill us a slow death every day. They're trying to, you know, um, make us be depressed, and and to think about, what is not, um our blessings, and to take our mind off of God, and separate, to cause separation from God, because a lot of people feel like, they targeting and like, oh my God would never let this happen, and there's no such thing as God, and such as it's a ploy to separate us from our connection to God, and our from us fulfilling our purpose, and to take us off track. And I feel like, we are ordained, and we have special gifts and abilities, and they know that, and that's why they target us. That's my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion of why we are targeted, or why things happen. Some people think, because they did something bad a few years ago, they were targeted because of that. But I don't feel like that. I feel like it's way deeper than, just something that might have happened a couple years ago, or, from a mistake that you made. Because they go so hard with it, and I've even seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it, like, and when I look back on my life, and I'm like, man, why is everything so messed up? Like, why has everything been like this? Why have my parents tried to kill me? Why does everybody lie to me? Why does everybody set out to hurt me? or switch up on me, or why that, you know what I mean? And then you get focused on that, and you get focused on why are they zapping me, and why, and then you get in a state of depression, and and your vibration gets lower, and then, you know what I mean, and it takes your focus away from the blessing within the struggle and what God is doing, and it takes your mind off of what we need to be focused on. And um so when I say why do I think people get targeted, I feel like it's because they are God's children, and the evil one does not want us to fulfill our God-given destiny on this planet, and he's going to do whatever he can to try and stop that. But one thing, if I've never said it before, no matter what, if God ordains something to happen, I don't care if the enemy throws 10 hurricanes over it, drops a nuclear bomb on it, whatever it is, if God ordains it to happen, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind, and guys, just stay strong, man, and try to stay strong, man, and just try to get through it, man. Let's see here, Corbin Dallas. That was unnecessary comment. You were saying next level is a Masonic. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. You have a Masonic name. Whoa, I didn't see that. Let me see here. Okay, Corbin Dallas. Big Dreams Lover. I see some stuff going on here. All right. All right. Well, I don't know how, people come up with these ideas or come up with these, that, oh, your name is Masonic. I don't know how. It's NE with two X's next. Like, I was trying to be creative and not just say next, and if that's what you're implying, then F you, no perp zone. That's right. That's a fact. That's right. That's what we do. Carmoli, I love her, man. That's my homie. And it's people like that, man. Like, that I would love to meet still, man. Carmole and Autumn and, Targeted Australia. But, you know, nothing against them because I love them. I love you guys who are watching and tuning in. It's just that, these chain of events that took place, I'm not even gonna lie, man. That shit hurt. That shit broke my heart. I don't even really be cursing on my videos or nothing like that, but the people who turn their back on me, man, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't care, because I have love for those people, and I can't believe that, people could do me like that. You know what I mean? Like, and that shit hurt, man. I'm not gonna call anybody out. I'm not gonna say no names. They know who they are. If they see this or not. If I get a thumbs down, then that's probably you. Um, that shit hurt, man. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, and it made me really like skeptical now of like, doing what I wanted to do, what I want to set out to do. I want to travel around, meet TIs, and capture the moment, and show people that it's possible to do this. And then just, I still got some prayer and some reiterating to do. And I gotta, I've been asking God, like, is this is, is this the devil trying to just hinder me from, doing that? Or is it not meant for me to do this, or what? What is it? I don't even know. I have no clue. Um, I don't even know. Corbin Dallas says, so that might make people think you're a perp. You know what, Corbin? Um, I have a Masonic name. I don't even know. I don't know nothing about Masonic or nothing of that. I don't study that stuff. I'm not into it. If I was, I would talk about it. That would be what my channel would be about, and all of this crap. And I see that it's people like, um, people that I've met, who I thought were genuine TIs, who I thought were cool, who I thought were on my side. And, I met them and things went left and things went kind of crazy. I get no apology. I get nothing, you know. And then, you know, after those situations, and then I get situations where I talk to people and we have good rapport on my understanding. I think everything is cool and everything. And then I find out, you know, from another person that they behind my back talking about, oh, next is a perp, next is a perp. So I see that in this community, no matter how cool you are or come off to be, some people are just straight fake. Some people straight fake, man, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, what's up next? Everything is cool. Yeah, you can come down here, and I'll look out for you, and such and such." And then you get down there, and then no, they don't even answer the phone for you, or they turn your back on you, or they make shit about some bullshit. You know, and they say they care about TIs, and their whole thing is they care about other people's well being, but they just straight shit on you when it's time for, you know, from the they even answer the call, or you have people talk to you, yeah, next, yeah, that's right, man. God bless you. You pray with them and everything, and then you hear from somebody that same person is calling you a perp behind your back. But then they call you every day, hey, next, how are you? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like some people are just straight shady, like straight grimy, like fake as hell, like. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna fix your face to call me a perp, then don't call me. Like, don't even watch my videos. Like, don't just delete my number. Just keep, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that, man. We don't rock like that, man. It's a no perp zone, man. I don't understand it. You know, people come off like they're so cool and this and that, and then you meet them in person, and then, oh man, and I can't say that because some people were cool, you know, and some people I met in person was cool, and then, you know, after a certain period of time, then they just dropped off the face, and you know, so just like I said earlier, man, I can't trust people, man. Like, me personally, I don't trust people, man. I trust God, man. Let's see here. I don't care if people think I'm a perp. I know I'm not. God knows I'm not a perp, and He knows what I go through as a TI. So that's what matters. And my faith in God. Oh, that's a fact, Carmelay. Big shout out to you, man. Man, I love Carmelay, man. Let me see. I agree, big dreams. I feel like they know who we are, and we just need to realize it ourselves. All right. What the hell, Corbin Dallas next? 15.1. What the fuck? Bro, what is this, man? What is this, bro? Like, this is bullshit, bro. Word up, man. Like, what is this? That it doesn't make no sense, bro. Like, is this that new math or something? Like, this is retarded, bro. Next equals 15.1. 15 meters. What are you talking about? Yo, bro, you about to get bounced out of here, bro. Matter of fact, Corbin, man, why don't you call up right now, man? Call me and talk and explain this, bro. I've never seen that. Next, NEXX is not even a word, bro. Like, I just made that up. That's a fact, cuz. That's a fact. Next is not even a word, bro. I made that up. Talking about next equals 15.15 meters. Come on, bro. Really? That's crazy, man. Man, so if anybody else got any questions or anything, man, before I get out of here, let me see here, man. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, man. Oh man, Corbin, do it now, bro. Don't wait. Don't, you know what I mean? Because that shit was retarded, bro. Next in the XX. That's not even a real word, bro. Like, I just made that up. I was trying to be creative, man. Let me see. 6. Bam. All right, so if anybody got any more questions before we get out of here, man, just let me know right now, man. You can hit me up on the jack. If not, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. And once again, man, guys, I don't know how many of y'all was around when next time was going when what's next was going on and all of that stuff, man. As soon as I get in a space where I can keep that thing going, I'm definitely gonna keep those things going, man. Definitely, man. I just wanted to take a minute to share my truth and let you guys know what's been going on with me. I really haven't had time for anything. I haven't had time to do nothing. And one by one, people just keep, turning back on me, like doing me dirty, talking crap about me, running smear campaigns. And these is people that, who I really had love for, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man, that shit hurt. You know, you guys got me. I'll say that. But the love is still here. And man, thank you guys for checking me, man. Um, if we don't have any more questions, I'm just gonna end it. I'm gonna end it on a prayer. I'm gonna say, Father God, thank you for everyone here on the stream today. Thank you for keeping us safe, getting us through another day. Lord, I ask that you forgive me, Lord, for I am imperfect. I am not perfect, not one bit. Um, I have sinned against you. And through Jesus Christ, you said that we can be forgiven. So please, Father, forgive me and forgive everyone who's going through something, who's turned their back on you, Lord, who has um, lost faith and sight in you. Um, Father, these words are coming from my heart. I am not reading off of any paper or anything right now. I'm just trying to give my truth, Father God. I'm not glorifying any of the devil's tactics or any of Satan's means or anything, but I just want people to be aware and not afraid to live their life and to make connections. And I give you all the glory, Father, and just thank you for allowing me to do this and allowing me to take another step forward. And I just ask that you be with anybody that's hurting right now, anybody that's broken, Father God, anybody that's suffering, to just be there, Lord, and to show them who you are, show them your power, show them your grace, show them your mercy. Protect them, Father God. Wrap your arms around them, cover them with the blood of Jesus. Show them your love, Father God. Um, Let them know who you are and your intentions for them not to go through this program to suffer, Lord, but to survive, to find meaning, and to end the suffering, Father God. Um, Strengthen us all, Father. Give us hope. Um, um, Protect us all, Lord, while we're sleeping, Lord. Keep these directed energy weapons away, Lord. Cover us, Lord. Cover us with the blood of Jesus, Lord. Um, Father God, we just love you wholeheartedly, Lord. And I just ask that um, you not only protect us, but to stand next to the lonely and the brokenhearted, Lord, and to help us heal and to show us the lesson that we need to learn, Lord, to move forward, to get to the blessing, Lord. Because I believe that every one of us is going through something, and this is not the end, but there's blessings that you want to give us, Lord. If we tap into your will for our life and not focus on all the negative or anything, Lord, but to just focus on you and I thank you every day, Lord, for giving me breath in my lungs and for waking me up, Lord, and keeping me alert and sharp. And I just thank you, Lord. And I'm just grateful throughout all this drama that's going on, throughout all the targeting, throughout all the setups, throughout all the backstabbing, Lord. I'm still grateful. I'm grateful for you, for your purpose, for your will in my life and everyone watching and every TI across the world, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, all right, all right. Just have to say a quick prayer for everybody, man. I love y'all, man. God bless y'all, man. And just look forward to some new footage coming soon, man. Targeting Island, Laura, what's going on, man? Hit me up, Laura. Hit me up on Hangouts, man. I want to talk to you, Laura. All right. I love everybody, man. This has been my truth, man. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.